Well, it's been 30 years since we last saw Eddie Murphy as Detective Axel Foley, but he's back in a brand new sequel called Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F.
Are you ever going to put this down?
Never.
Okay.
Never.
Great. Morgan went to L.A. to interview Eddie and the cast.
What?
I'm just still giggling at your award. You're so proud. I love it.
This. Yes,
yes.
you noticed. The Sunshine
I know.
Cup.
I'm supposed to talk about Eddie Murphy, but congratulations.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Morgan.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Big honor.
I know. Yeah. Congratulations.
Tell us about Eddie.
So, listen, Eddie Murphy was a dream interview for me. My dad was like the biggest Eddie Murphy fan, so this was such a moment for me. But it's wild. Beverly Hills Cop came out 40 years ago, the original. The last sequel came out 30 years ago, so here we are now. He was very specific. He was very determined to get this movie done, but had to be the right script. So it took 30 years, but it's really, really good, very nostalgic, and his daughter Bria makes a cameo in it, which is cute. So take a look.
Did you say Foley? Foley! You stole a helicopter!
I didn't realize that you couldn't really fly a helicopter. Otherwise, I would have came up with a different idea. I told you it was a bad idea.
I love the action, I love the comedy, but I really loved the father-daughter storyline.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. That's what made the movie come together. The reason the movie came together after all this time was because the script came in with that relationship in it. We had done 8 scripts that were terrible. Well, not terrible, but they just didn't have just wasn't right.
Yeah.
And when we put this and the whole, okay, on the surface, the movie is about cops and robbers and bad guys, and all, but the subplot and the subtext is the movie is really about Axel is estranged from his daughter, and the movie's about him reconciling. That pulled everything together.
Okay, and then cherry on top, your real-life daughter, Bria,
my real-life daughter,
is in this, and gets to arrest you.
She gets to arrest, and her husband, her new husband of a few weeks, he tased me. He was a cop too, and he tased me in my neck. And I'm sure that has to be a show business first, to get tased in the neck by your new son-in-law.
Right, who's also Canadian.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
I know, I've interviewed him a few times when he was on a show called Bitten.
Okay.
Yeah, he played a werewolf.
Did he play a werewolf?
He did, yeah. You gotta ask him about that.
I didn't know. So Michael played a werewolf?
He played a werewolf in Bitten.
Does he transform and get teeth? And
I'm pretty sure he did.
Oh, now I'm gonna look that up. How come, Bria, how come you never told me about Michael turning into a wolf?
It's a real thing.
You didn't tell me he could turn into a wolf.
When you talk about fathers and daughters, my dad didn't show a lot of emotion, but I have a very core memory of him crying, laughing, watching The Nutty Professor.
Oh.
And it's like, it's something I think about, and I love that moment so much. So for you, when people are watching Shrek, or they're watching Beverly Hills Cop, or they're watching The Nutty Professor, what does it feel like to know that you're not just entertaining people, but you're creating some pretty memorable moments?
Well, you don't know if you're creating the memorable moment. All you know is that somebody's laughing or something, and that's a great feeling. I've always said that there's no to be blessed like that, to be able to make a living as an artist is a blessing, but to make a living making people laugh, come on now. To everywhere you see, everything that you look, everything around you is there because you've made people laugh. That's a great blessing.
You two have been in some of my favorite movies of all time, but it's so fun for me seeing you two as the newbies in this very iconic franchise. What's the best part about being the new kids on the block?
I mean, I've loved these movies ever since I was a kid. Probably too young to be watching the movies, actually. But it was my older brother was a huge Eddie Murphy fan when I was little.
Okay.
And, your older sibling, the stuff they like, it takes on an elevated, ultra cool aura. And for me, that was Eddie Murphy. So now to get to be the sidekick to Eddie in the new Beverly Hills Cop, I mean, it's incredible.
What is that Eddie Murphy essence on set?
He doesn't try to be funny. All of that humor is it just has a very organic kind of nature. And a lot of comedians, and I spent a lot of time around them, are super, super hungry to always have the humor, to always be acknowledged that they are funny. They just need it. It's part of who they are. That's not the thing with Eddie.
He doesn't have anything to prove.
He doesn't have anything to prove. Yeah.
So how do you describe the Eddie Murphy essence on set? Because I've been asking everybody, and your director Mark's like, it's like he looks 25, he acts 25. What is that secret?
Did I act 25?
He said that the energy,
Oh,
not
my energy,
immature.
the energy
not
of
immature.
a 25-year-old. Well, I'm acting that when if I seem like I have the energy of a 25-year-old, I'm acting when I do that. And as far as how I look, to me, I just look like me. I don't even. But I've always been kind of ageless in my movies. My very first movie is 48 Hours. And I'm 20 years old when I start making that picture. I turned 21 on that set. But when you watch the movie, you don't think this a kid. I'm a kid. I'm Beverly Hills Cop. I'm 22. I'm a kid. But you don't think, I've always been kind of ageless.
Yeah. Has that worked for you?
And I'm still ageless.
Yeah.
I could still pull it off. I can still pull it off if I don't move around too much.
And did it feel right when you were on set? Like, did it click right away when you got there? Or did you have to get back into the character a little bit?
It clicked right in. Because the movies are on all the time.
It's true.
Yeah, so you see them and you see these actors and it falls right in. And if you work with actors that you were in a successful movie with them, it's this great feeling when you get around each other and you work, hey, we were in that hit together. And
Yeah.
It's the exact opposite. When you see somebody, if you were in a movie with them and you see them out, it's kind of like, oh no. It's like somebody used to date that it didn't work out, where it's like, hope they don't come over here. It's like, hey, Eddie, hi, yeah, right. Pluto Nash, we did that together. Yeah, good to see you.
I liked Pluto Nash.
Yeah, that was you that liked
That
it.
was me. That was me in Canada.
I was very young when I saw Pluto Nash, but still liked it. How great was that?
So good. And I love the ageless comment. Like, it's so true. When you get to a certain vintage, like, as long as you don't move too much, because when you start to move, then you show your age.
Well, the thing about being ageless, I mean, Eddie Murphy's been part of our lives forever.
Yeah.
Right? Really, he has.
I know. So yeah, that was pretty special, and it's cool because Beverly Hills Cop Axel F is streaming now on Netflix. So check it out.
Love it.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you, Morgan.
Thanks.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you too.